in the novel Huckleberry Finn, Huck is a 14-year-old boy, Jim is a slave. Huck has been living with Miss Watson, who is a widower, who she owns Jim. That's how they know each other. Huck is friends with this kid named Tom Sawyer. Tom Sawyer and him found a huge treasure, okay? The reason Huck had been living with Miss Watson is because his father's out of the picture. Well, his father comes back into the picture and takes Huck from this woman because he wants a bit of the money, right? He's terrible. Huck doesn't want to live with him, so he fakes his own death. And he fakes his own death and starts to go down the river. He goes to this island. At the same time, Jim is escaping Miss Watson and ends up at that island too. Okay, they meet, they talk, they have a good time, whatever. Well, eventually they find out that the death is being pinned on Jim. So they're like, oh crap. So then they gotta book it. So then they start going down the river. And basically they do meet a bunch of people. They do their own thing. A lot of lying happens. They go and they just meet a bunch of people. But the most important people that they meet is the king and the duke. The king and the duke are these scamming brothers, okay? And they hear about a funeral. This is the big thing that happens. They do some scamming before this, but the big thing. They scam this family by pretending to be the relatives of one of their family members who's just died, like foreign relatives. So they go and they lie and they scam, and there's money at play. That's why they're doing this. And so they're trying to get at the money. Well, Huck starts to feel bad for this, so he steals the money, right? And, accidentally puts it in the dead man's coffin and gets buried. Well, eventually, it gets pinned onto some slaves. They go down to, the slaves have been sold up the river, so then they go down there to find them. And then Huck successfully convinces them that it wasn't him that did it. And yeah, it's like a whole thing. Well, eventually Jim gets sold by the king. And this really makes Huck mad. So Huck has to escape them. So he leaves them behind. And once he got sold, he ended up at this woman named Aunt Sally, who is Tom Sawyer's aunt. Tom comes and joins them after some deceiving. Everything comes out, and then they end up breaking Jim out of slavery, and they make this whole big run for it. But turns out it was all not worth it because Miss Watson's dead and gave Jim his freedom before she died. And Tom just held on to this information for no reason.